Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Tyrone back with Tech Life. Here I have a great article for you guys from Yahoo Finance. I'll leave a link to it in the description so you guys can check it out. So, CFRA analysts calls on T-Mobile. So, this is a very interesting article with some corrections that I'll be making throughout the article. So, something very interesting to note. So, some of the analysts, they need convincing as to who's going to be the strong buy and who you should choose, right, as a company to invest in. So again, as a disclaimer, I'm no financial expert. I'm not a stockbroker, so don't go and buy and sell any of your stock based on what I say. So the CFRA's highest recommendation of 5 stars or strong buy is currently the second largest wireless provider in the United States with 115 million customers, explains analyst Keith Snyder in CFRA Research flagship newsletter. So they're recommending a strong buy or 5 stars for T-Mobile. So the company continues to capture market share from both AT&T and Verizon, which is true. We saw that in the recent quarter, 760,000 ads. With its aggressive plan pricing, unique plan benefits, in-flight streaming and texting, free AAA service, and its leading 5G network. We believe its 5G network is currently over a year ahead of both AT&T and Verizon, with its ultra capacity network currently covering 285 million pops, not 275 million. So that's wrong. That was updated during the quarterly earnings that they just had. We expect this network lead will give it a substantial first mover advantage in winning enterprise clients and consumer fixed wireless access customers. So now that they're at 285 million, they'll be at 300 million pops covered by the end of the year. They get to pick first from these rural customers with fixed wireless access. Verizon will get there eventually, but they're not there yet with C-band. So there's a large geographic footprint in rural that T-Mobile has 2.5 now, that they have the right to win first before anyone else even gets there to compete. So that's a big deal for T-Mobile, and they're of course willing to take advantage of that. So we see growth stemming from 5 different verticals. The first vertical is expansion in smaller markets and rural areas. That's ongoing. In 2020, T-Mobile started out with roughly 13% share of rural markets, and it's currently targeting 20% share by the end of 2025. We believe this goal is completely reasonable as its portfolio is low. So again, that's a conservative estimate. That doesn't even get them to fair share. So it's highly obtainable. And mid-band spectrum is well suited for the wide coverage areas required in smaller and rural markets. So the rest I'll leave in the description so you guys can check it out for yourselves. There's all the verticals that they're covering. So they recommend T-Mobile as a strong buy. There's other analysts that are going to recommend the same. T-Mobile continues growing. They have huge opportunity in enterprise. That's been long dominated by Verizon and AT&T. Even when Sprint was the 4th carrier and there was more options in the market, they just didn't have the network, and T-Mobile as well didn't have the strong enough network to compete for any enterprise. So that's been long dominated with huge share between Verizon and AT&T. Now T-Mobile has the assets to really go after this enterprise business, and they're doing it in a big way, right? It's small enterprise, large enterprise. They're doing small business. I was recently told, and I've mentioned this in several videos already, but they got the AutoZone account. They got Circle K that they don't really discuss. I guess it's not big enough, but they got that because for an employee benefit, I guess Circle K now offers free phones to their employees. So, that's something that they're working on behind the scenes. I'm also hearing some stuff that's going to come out in the future. They're getting some larger government agencies that's beyond the VA. So there's a lot of traction that T-Mobile is gaining, and they're doing it with value and with network, right? The network has to play a part. If you look at Root Metrics, they're 3rd place, but they're still winning customers. So that's a big deal, right? They may not have the absolute best network per scientific testing, but it's good enough to win these customers. It's good enough to win these businesses. So that's all T-Mobile, at the end of the day, that's all they're going to care about. They're going to care about, can we successfully get these customers to join? And their churn at 0.77% in Q2 shows you the network is there. It may not be as big as Verizon and AT&T. It may not be better, but it's good enough to maintain and keep its customers, right? And the whole notion that they're giving everything away for free, that's just not true. There might be a line or two in there for free, but you're still paying $200+, especially if you have all your phones financed and such, you're still paying monthly, right? They just posted a $2.9 billion free cash flow quarter. They had their biggest net income probably in the company's history, right? During LTE, their net income was like 800-900 million. Now it's over 2 billion, and it's continuing to grow year over year. So they're not 100% there yet, but they continue getting they're continuing to convince analysts that they should be the company to invest in. So that's a pretty big deal, right? You can make the best burritos in town, but if you can't convince people to come to your store, you're not going to make any sales, regardless if you have the best burritos or not, right? There might be somebody, a half a mile away from you that has worse burritos, but they're convincing customers and they have great marketing for them to come in the door. So that's kind of that's the analogy that I'm using here, the T-Mobile approach, right? Verizon has the best network in the metro core. That's proven by RootMetrics, but they're not that great at getting people in the doors. T-Mobile is taking all their customers. So it will be interesting to see how they move forward. It's a pretty big deal in my opinion. So make sure you guys stay tuned for more. Like, share, subscribe. See y'all in the next one. Peace.